the same goes for Savage Roars. But still, both versions of the druids are really powerful.
So we're going to go into the game here, and you can see that Fentyrris is on the top with Impact on the bottom. Impact starting on Rogue, and you see a Gadgetzan Auctioneer there, the 6-mana Gadgetzan, still being played here for Impact.
Well, it's still a powerful effect. Like, when we are talking about Auctioneer, we thought that the proper nerf to Gadgetzan would be like a cap on the maximum cards drawn each turn, not increasing the mana. The mana was okay, but the effect was too big of a deal.
Sure, and on the coin, it can still be absolutely devastating on turn 6.
Yep, or even on turn 5, like with Prep and Backstab. Look at this. He has actually the option to go with that here, but Druid has a Spectrum Knight. I'm wondering why didn't he play that instead of the Sylvanas? Like
It's very, very interesting playing out the Sylvanas when there's nothing on board to really deal with that. And that sap coming down on Sylvanas is absolutely that's horrible. If you innervate something out, getting it sapped like that is just such a waste of that innervate.
And like a complete waste of a turn. Like I think Spectral Knight is the MVP in this against that type of rogue. So playing that the turn before, I think, would be devastating for Impact. Right now he has the Room to Breathe as it's 4 damage less than if it would be played the turn before. But still, Wild Growth has done some job here.
Sure, you can see in turn 6, the board already starting to build up for the Druid. Yeah, I mean, if he'd played the Spectral Knight on that turn, obviously Impact wouldn't have been able to sap it, and he would have had very few plays on that turn. But you just see the combo pieces in hand already for Fentyrris, which suggests, along with the Spectral Knights and the Shades, that it's very likely that this is the double combo Druid.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of surprised he didn't replay the Sylvanas the turn before, because he played it on turn 3, right? So you replay it when you just made the exact same play the turn before. Well, in this situation, you just go face with the Spectral Knight. I think you ignore the Shadow Boxer, right? That's the name of the unusual priest card, Shadow Boxer.
Yeah, Shadow Boxer. I think that's right. I don't think it's going to do very much work here. There's probably not a lot of healing this deck. But here comes the Gadgetzan. Prep
first, before the coin. Interesting.
Fan of Knives, Eviscerate, Blade Flurry, Deadly Poison. That's going to be so crucial.
Yes, just because he has the second prep with the Blade Flurry. That's a perfect draw for Impact here. That's all cards you needed are just lining up in your hand. And
Prep Blade Flurry.
That's insane. You didn't even have
to attack face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably should have gone to face there. He could use the Shadow Boxer, though. I guess he's maybe valuing having more minions on board.
The problem is he's very low, and he doesn't have any kind of healing in his hand.
Absolutely, and it's actually...
And it's one turn before combo, so it's next turn. Of course, if the Druid player will go with the aggressive route, but he's not.
Well, I was going to say he's going to go for the aggressive play. I was just going to say, swipe face here, and you set yourself up for a turn 9 lethal.
Yeah, that's a very good decision from Fentyrris, right? And that means the game will end if Impact won't get a healing minion here. So trading face...
Or if he plays the Lotheb, he has to play the Lotheb here to stay alive.
Oh yeah, right, he just drawed it. Okay, so now he's safe just because of the Lotheb, because he has the Shadow Step for next turn. This is insane.
Yeah, do you think he's going to be aware enough to Shadow Step the Lotheb?
Well, now, the Druid has to play his own Lotheb. So if the Rogue doesn't have lethal now, that means the Druid can win. Wait, how many damage is that? He has 8 points of mana. He has Leroy, so that's 11, 13, 17. No way of getting lethal here.
Indeed, but if the Lotheb hadn't come down from the Druid side, this would have been lethal for the Rogue. This is such a back and forth game.
Yeah, it's like Oh, I draw a card. Oh, I draw a card. That's a perfect answer for this.
Oy. Well, I think that means unless he shadow steps the Loatheb, which isn't going to do, he's going to go ahead and try and get damage in. Um, shadow
Well,
stepping the Loatheb would have been his only way to survive. So game
yeah.
one is going to go over to Fentyrris.
I still think that Impact played too rashly. That's even a word. Too fast, and didn't think about preserving the 4 hit points. So,
Sure.
harsh game for Impact. This can be heartbreaking because you had the game in your hand, and well, you just lost because you made that one really crucial attack with your face.
A very, very interesting decision to not trade away that to not trade in the Shadow Boxer. It feels like he was maybe, as you say, trying to just get damage on board, but Miracle Rogue, he excels at having spells in hand, and he had the Eviscerates in hand. So
Yeah,
I'm,
everything in hand.
yeah, I'm interested to see to maybe find out what his thought process was there, Impact. But we are going to go into the Druid mirror match here, and talking about these two archetypes. Impact is playing a ramp Druid, in fact, a very very heavy ramp Druid. So how do you feel the ramp Druid and the fast combo Druid match up together?
There are 2 ways of saying how this matchup will go. If the ramp druid hits wild growth and the combo druid won't, then the ramp druid wins. If the combo druid gets wild growth and the ramp druid doesn't, then then the combo druid wins. If both get wild growth, then I think ramp druid wins.
And a coin wild growth for looks like, yeah. So that's Fentyrris on the top. So he does get the wild growth on the coin again.
Yeah, and Impact doesn't have it, but he has the crucial Ancient of War, which can be one of the most meaningful cards in this matchup. Because apart from Keeper, there's no way of dealing with that creature from Druid side.
Absolutely, and there's no Keeper of the Grove in the hand for Fentyrris right now. So even if Impact decides to hold on to that Innervate until turn 5 and then put out the Ancient of War, that's going to be very very difficult for Fentyrris to get through.
Well, I agree with the Druid of the Claw play. Like, you have to deal with the creature first, and this will be like a skip in a turn for now. So Impact has the means to dictate the tempo on the game. The problem is, how do you do that? Do you deal 2 damage to the Yeti and then trade with your Druid of the Claw? Then it gets left on 2 HP points, which can be really bad. But still, I think it's the necessary evil here. If Fentyrris would have a Keeper of its own, that he would have a really great board position with Keeper to the Druid of the Claw, then Shadow Extremis to the Keeper. But that's not the case.
There we go. Sorry, I lost the picture there for just a second, but I'm back with you. And you can see the board being established on both sides. Double swipe, double ancient in the hand for Impact. Lots of ways to deal with the threats coming out, but isn't able to use swipe on either of these minions.
Well, he can, but what we want to do is probably just swipe face. You won't have time to play those swipes until turn 10. Like, you want to drop those Ancient of Wars on turn 7 and turn 8. So what do you do here is just swipe face, exactly, and then on turn 6 probably swipe face and use Rev on another creature that will be dropped to the board. And you can also, after the second swipe, if your Druid of the Claw still lives, you can swipe face and kill the Druid of the Spectral Knight. And actually, that will be possible.
Sure, it's interesting to see such an aggressive start from Ramp Druid, putting the double combo Druid, usually the more aggressive Druid, on the back foot here.
Yep.
We see the Innervate being used to bring out a Yeti and a Shade, not even able to use that Innervate to push out something like a Cenarius.
So now, and Rev, the Yeti, she should have maybe played the Rev first to draw a card. Oh, he didn't. He didn't use the ref. That's very interesting.
Yeah, saving the wraths. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking using those.
Well, oh, actually, it might have sense just to finish off those shades when they will come out of the stealth.
Sure,
Like
we're gonna. The
maybe
rat's
right
gonna come
now.
down from the other side.
If they will attack right now, then both refs will go down. But nope, that's not the case.
Nope, and here comes the Ancient of War. And in fact, you could see those
Now,
shades being employed to clear that.
well, then you have to trade both of the shades. It's really bad. Oh, that's the Force of Nature. And this will be played right now with the one shade that has the 4 attack just to kill the creature. And I think that the shade with the 7 points of attack will attack them.
It never feels that good to use a Force of Nature to clear, particularly when you don't have any of your other combo parts in hand. But you think that's really the choice? I mean, he doesn't have much other in the way of choice unless he trades the. He's probably going to charge the Druid of the Claw here and trade that instead. No, he opts for a taunt.
Interesting. So it just ignores the Ancient of War for now.
And is the second one just going to come down here?
Possibly not. I think he will use the. He will play Belcher and go nuts with his face. When he didn't use the ref first time, why would he use it right now? Unless he wants to draw something in particular from his deck.
Sure. I'm just trying to. 19 plus 8. He's actually. Fentyrris is 1 damage off lethal here if he can clear through these Force of Natures this turn. He's not going to be able to push all that damage home, but he's trying to set up a board here to come down and push through. It's interesting to see what Impact goes with here. As you say, he has 2 taunts available to him, and he's probably going to... So he's going to go with the Ancient of War to just try and soak up more of that damage.
I don't agree with this. I would rather see played Belcher and trading.
There comes the Scenarios buff, so we're going to see the 10-8 Shade trade into one of the Ancients.
That's devastating.
In fact, we're going to see the other Shades come in there.
Creatures are in place. Oh!
A Mind Control tech, okay.
But that doesn't really help him. Unless he gets the taunt creature. So yeah, you first kill the Shredded Extremis, and then you steal the taunt, and you maybe will live, but that's highly unlikely. No.
See, I was going to say, well, maybe you use the Keeper of the Grove to kill the 6/1 first, but it's maybe thinking about using that to silence the 10-3 Shade. I'd probably want to silence a 10 attack minion.
Why wouldn't you use the second raft just to kill it?
That's true, and maybe even use the. Well, you just can't use the hero power on the section because that taunt is in the way.
You can't, but at least you will have the silence for next turn. This way, if he has the Savage Roar, if he top decks the Savage Roar, even for the combo, he will win. So I don't think you want to keep additional creature on the board. That was also my thinking the turn before.
Yeah. He does have the Force of Nature, so the combo can come down, and in fact, doesn't get it.
12, 18, it's not enough. 19 points of damage.
But he's probably just going to throw the damage in here, probably anticipating things like Sludge Belchers and Druid of the Claws coming down to get in his way. He wants to get the damage in as quickly as possible. So the double combo Druid. Oh, he's actually gonna trade for that MC tag. No, he's gonna go face with the rest of them. No, he's gonna trade and get the Scenarios off the board.
Very good call with the taunt. Because most ranked druids are playing with Black Knight, so he got the value from the Druid of the Claw.
Sure, so here comes the Druid of the Claw, and probably the Keeper of the Grove to kill the 6/1. But a Savage Roar top deck still is going to spell the end for Impact.
Yep. But he doesn't get it.
Ancient of Lore.
But if he would go face with the Druid of the Claw, he would have been 1 damage of lethal. So I think it was better just to go face.
Gets a swipe and a Druid of the Claw, so that gives him a lot of damage in hand there. He's got 10 damage in hand from the swipe and the force of nature. Roar. But there's more taunts to come. I mean, do you just throw up the Sludge Belcher and the Senjin here if you're Impact?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. You have to somehow survive the next combo with Savage Roar. So how do you do? You do it with 3 taunts.
Impact trying to stay alive here. Does kill off that Blood Mage Thalnos, but that gives Fentyrris another card draw with which to potentially draw into the combo. It's a Lotheb coming down. That's not what he's looking for.
Helpful. Yep.
It was pretty helpful in the last match, but not this one. MC Tech from Fentyrris as well. It looks like both these guys were anticipating aggro play, putting that into their decks.
Will he taunt up here? I think so. Yeah.
Yep. He's going to go for the taunt, kill off the main body of the Sludge Belcher.
The problem with the Sylvanas is that he doesn't have a way to activate the Sylvanas instantly, because Ramp Druid doesn't run Savage Roar, so you can't combo the Sylvanas with Savage Roar and Big Game Hunter on Sylvanas.
Well, the Sylvanas and the Senjin are going to come down here, but that is pretty much everything that Impact has to throw down here. He's got a Big Game Hunter in hand, but otherwise he's going to be top decking. Has those 2 taunts, but the 2 taunts will not be enough to save him. And there's the Savage Roar. So that is going to be a 2-0 victory for Fentyrris. He's going to push on through these taunts here, and that is going to be game 2 going to Fentyrris. So a big upset in our first game here.
That's true. But I think Fentyrris played pretty well. Maybe one play was questionable with trading the Druid of the Claw, but it still went well for him because he did draw the second Savage Roar. Without the Savage Roar, it would have been really hard for him to win this turn. Like